Potatoes are what we eat, and if you get that reference, you are just as crazy and random and weird as me. I'm Joe Rentham with my review of AEW Dynamite, and we had Darby Allin versus Joey Janela with referee Aubrey. It's the TNT Championship to kick off. If they start doing this more often, maybe not to kick off the show, but just feature a TNT Championship match every single week, it's going to be the workhorse title. It's going to be like the TV Championship, and you could hook some more people to tune in. Oh, there's a guaranteed championship match every single week. Well, I got to watch that. And you could have some good quality matches. Darby can deliver good quality matches, as he did here. And then if you switch to somebody like Ricky Starks could handpick his opponents, and it's a win-win. You can build some shit. And also give a hook for something called the goddamn TNT Championship on TNT. Anyway, I did see this match at a Defy Northwest wrestling show in September of 2019. I got to meet Darby multiple times. He's really cool. Aubrey is super sweet. Her and Red Shoes are the two best referees in wrestling today, and there are plenty in the Pacific Northwest alone that are just behind them. Love you guys. I really hope that indie shows can come back to the Pacific Northwest when it's safe, and I hope that is sooner than later, but we will see. Darby started with some good groundwork. Janela tried to do some stuff. I will put some praise on Janela in a little bit. Darby does some really cool dives, just throwing his body into his opponents. One nice spot that Janela did do, though, to catch off the ropes into a German suplex. That was really cool. And then Janela looks at the championship. It's all shiny and pretty and everything, and shiny objects distract us all. But Code Red off the ropes for 2, and then coffin drop by Darby 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. Well worked. Considering I'm not a big fan of Joey Janela, this wasn't a bad match at all. I don't hate the guy as a person. I'm just not a fan of him in the ring. But Darby and him crafted a decent enough match here. Moxley then talks about Kenta and tonight's tag match, which they really overly gimmicked. And then Sammy Guevara's talking to MJF. I know you're trying to take over the inner circle, but MJF, it's not just the camera recording. He's recording Sammy on his phone and says, oh, you want me to say I hate Chris Jericho, all this stuff? And, oh, wait, you were recording me? Let me take your phone and throw it and then beat you up. And his camera's rolling, so all Sammy had to do to avoid, having Jericho accuse him of stuff was just pay the cameraman an extra $50 or whatever to get another download, like a digital download, and say, hey, Chris, come watch this. Oh, you're at a super spreader event like you always are? Well, that's okay, Pandemico. You can just watch this a little bit later. Anyway, we then get Cody's ego-stroking entrance. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's Cody and Lee Johnson with Arn versus Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. Cody coming out in the shirt, where proceeds go to Black History Month. Oh, that's fucking irony. Yes, I know he's married to a black woman. I don't fucking care. You can be married to somebody of a skin tone that deep down you despise, even if you don't despise that particular person. It has fucking happened. Not just in wrestling, but in life in general. And the Elite are just as bad politically as the McMahons. And I'm going to stick fucking by that, especially the Bucks. The Bucks are really fucking horrible. And I'm not saying AEW hasn't done some good shit, and they haven't included some wrestlers that other companies might not given a chance to, but guess what? I think that's a fucking smokescreen. So I'm not going to praise the goddamn Elite like they're the fucking gods of wrestling, because to me they aren't. If you think they are, fine. If you don't want to believe me, that's goddamn fine. I really hope that I'm wrong about Cody. I don't fucking think I am, because there's too much evidence to show that he's just, putting on a happy face and everything. He's basically the main white guy from Get Out, if you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Cody gave Cesar a lot, and then Lee got the dreaded roll-up 1, 2, 3. And it was a longer match than that, but that's pretty much what this was. Lee Johnson got his first win. Okay, cool. And then has an emotional promo where the Nightmare family are my family. Yes, Master, he might as well have just fucking said that. They might as well have had him say that. I mean, honestly, they really should have. I love Lee Johnson. I really do. He has a tremendous upside. Him and Sean Dean, but this was not a good promo. I understand he was emotional. That was really goddamn forced, and it was just basically blowing the Elite flute, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, it's going to give me some hate. Dasha talked about the title opportunity. Dear God, it has bled over into AEW. Why are the Bucks and the Good Brothers yelling so much? Oh, wait, we can't do the Too Sweet thing because Sting's around the corner and the Wolfpack and all this. And hey, did you know Tony Khan loved 1990s WCW? I love 1990s WCW also. I loved it back when it was in the 90s, not when it's 2021. And yeah, sure, what's old is new again. But now we're just doing it with inferior talent. And the Good Brothers are a good enough team that I don't think can do comedy that well. And the Bucks, while they were part of one of my favorite matches of last year against Paige and Omega at Revolution, I don't think the Bucks are even close to the best tag team in the world. That's my opinion. So they're going to take on Santana and Ortiz next week. The Bucks, that is. Hey, we should defend the titles. and all that, because the Bucks and Good Brothers were arguing with each other about the Battle Royal when the Good Brothers tried to take out Private Party, and they did, but then the Bucks got taken out because of distractions. Because everybody's easily distracted in wrestling, not just AEW, but in general. Then Matt and Paige are going to go to a bar. Paige leaves and runs into the Dark Order. Anna Jay looked like she either wanted to yell at him or kick him in the balls. There are some people that would pay good money for that. Moving on. Then we got Pac versus Ryan Nemeth. The man that's so good, he had to have a music distraction to beat Marco Stunt. I have nothing against Ryan Nemeth, but if you need a music distraction to beat Marco Stunt, I don't care if it's, if you're in the infancy of your AEW run, you might need to rethink what you're doing. Pac basically beat him up quite a bit. Ryan got in a few shots, though. There was one funny line: Pac is smooth, he's slick. Thanks, JR. It's nice to know your horiness, basically just it leaps out at anybody. Whatever. Pac's well put together. I will fucking say that. And the guy's intense. Black Arrow. And then Brutalizer for the win. Wedding recaps. Miro is DOA in AEW. They need to completely rebrand him. And I got nothing against Kip, and Penelope's a leather girl, which good on Kip for that. Honestly, they seem like a very happy couple, and good for them. Orange Cassidy and Chuck just drink. Why the fuck not? MJF to Jericho. I think Sammy broke my ribs, and we have a tag match. Everyone sings Judas for Chris, Super Spreader Jericho. I'm going to call him that because that's what he fucking is. Because until he can admit that he's not a goddamn idiot, even though he is a goddamn idiot and way past his prime, and basically a hypocrite because he's doing exactly what he claimed the veterans in WCW did, holding the spot that he doesn't fucking deserve, and he's trying to put people over, but he's not succeeding. I'm going to keep making fun of Chris Jericho. The Acclaimed rep to MJF, he says, I should get a shot at that diamond ring unless you want to be my sunshine and sing. I like Caster and Bowens. I like them. Then we cut to a pre-tape promo from MJF, just for a bit, like 20 seconds. MJF's a great goddamn promo. Is he the best heel in wrestling? That's arguable. Anyway, MJF and Super Spreader Jericho versus the Acclaimed. MJF has been trying to insert himself between Sammy and Jericho since the beginning, says commentary. Phrasing. MJF sells his ribs. Jericho is wiped out, absolutely wiped out. And I know that everybody loses steps when they do wrestling into their 50s, and he is 50, but he has had such a steep fucking decline. He's fallen off the goddamn Grand Canyon. He has done what Homer did when he fell down trying to make that jump. Remember that? That's basically what he's fucking done, and he just still thinks he can do it, and he can't. And his contract, I think, is up in early 2022. He may sign a new one, but guess what? He should not be fucking wrestling anymore. Caster sold well, and then Bones got the hot tag. We got a boombox at the head, but the referee's distracted just long enough. Aubrey Edwards, 1, 2, and kick out. And then Hager, of course, pushes Caster off the top. Of course, he would push a minority down, because that's what white bread Hager likes to do. Juice effect for 3, and there you go. Then here's Sammy to confront MJF and explain himself. I told you one more thing happened on December 9th. I told you one more thing happened that I'm done. And I'm telling you, I'm done. MJF smirks. Goddamn bastard. Just that smirk. Sammy says, and he's leaving. He's out of the inner circle. At least for now. I mean, he might come back at some point. But he says, I need some time away from this place. He says that to Marquez. Not Dave Marquez. He's in another company. Alex Marvez was his most tolerable here because he was just kind of running around. He got a lot of cardio in tonight. Paige and Matt are drinking, and Matt offers him a contract, and Paige suddenly says, I'm not drunk enough, throws that away, and then there's another contract that he printed up that Matt didn't bother to read. It looked like a blank sheet of paper, but he signed it. And there you go. You won't regret it. And maybe Paige said, hey, I'm going to get Private Party away from you. If I beat you, then Private Party are free from the contract. At least I think that's where they're going to go with the story. I don't goddamn know. Shivani interviews Sting. Immediately interrupted by Team Taz, who have Darby in a body bag, and they drag him behind a truck or car, a hearse or something. A limousine. I don't goddamn know. How many times have they done this interview and then look, you can't keep doing this backstage stuff because this is the same thing they kept doing in WCW. Hotshotting. It doesn't mean anything. Now, Darby doing this shit doesn't surprise me because he's insane, but God damn it. Sting then walks with all the determination of a guy that still wants to get to the early bird special. I understand he's 61 with a bad neck, but god damn. And then Marvez interviews Omega on a golf course in the most dialed down gear that I've seen him in. And he's there with Callis. We have to hear more from Callis, unfortunately, a little bit later. And then Omega gives Marvez one of his balls, or his only ball. Who the fuck knows? Thunder Rosa versus Layla Hirsch. Finally, something good. They remembered a women's title eliminator first round match is happening. Give me a series of matches between these two. Seriously, if Thunder Rosa still had the NWA Women's Championship, I would like to see a series of 5 matches between these two. Layla Hirsch can go. She's compact. She's well built. She can wrestle. Thunder Rosa is fucking tremendous, improving every single time. Thunder Driver 1, 2, 3. Good match. Good match for what it was. I mean, I wish it gotten a few more minutes, but these ladies fucking killed it. They did some good shit. And then Jungle Boy promo, Dax, I'm going to make you my bitch. That's pretty much summary right there. That they didn't get FTR suspended. Okay? Maybe Marco did. Who the fuck knows? Tony Khan did. He closed his forbidden door. They're doing that. Callus the Invisible Hand, Tony Khan with the forbidden door. Legends of the Forbidden Door Temple, I don't really know why they're calling it that. Is it because of all the cross-promotion stuff? Is it because Tony Khan is weird? Probably all that. So, next week, FTR versus Matt and Mike Seidel. I did not know Matt Seidel had a brother. I hope he's good. And then Paige, Matt, and Private Party versus TH2 and Chaos Project. Oh boy, Chaos Project. Nothing else for Panico. I don't want to see Luther on Dynamite. Sting calls out Team Taz. Why didn't he do it right after Darby got drug away in a body bag? Is it going to take him that long to figure out what the fuck to say? And then Serena versus Riho, tournament match, and the Bucks versus Santana Ortiz in a tag title match. Kenta and Omega versus Moxley and Archer. No DQ, falls count anywhere match. Anything goes in 2 rings with so many referees. I kid about the 2 rings and so many referees, but this was ECW with a budget, and it wasn't even good ECW with a budget. It just, if you guys like this main event, that's fine. I fucking didn't. Let's go over this. Omega's intro, calling him, some calling him the greatest IWGP heavyweight champion of all time. I know that that's him fluffing himself up. At least I hope so. Because anybody that thinks that Omega is even close to the greatest IWGP heavyweight champion of all time, I need to go back and watch a whole bunch more New Japan. I wouldn't even put him in the goddamn top 20. He had a fucking lousy reign. He had a great win against Okada in that 2 out of 3 falls match. Still one of my favorite matches of all time. And then every other match that he had subsequently got worse and worse and worse. Because he was checked out because he was going to go get more money from Tony Khan, even if it wasn't realized at the time. Anyway, Jake Roberts and, oh boy, Callis is joining commentary. My interest in this went down dramatically. Briefcase to Mox's head. Archer no-sells it. At first, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll use some weapons and they'll brawl around ringside. And they'll, have some fun. They've done so many Falls Count Anywhere and so many of these street fights and so much of the stuff where they just go everywhere in Daly's place and in the stadium. I don't fucking care anymore. We get a ladder shot. It looked like Omega actually might have cut his back, so hopefully he's all right. Peter's bed gets busted. Have fun on seeing that. This was bad. This was really bad. They're in the kitchen. Potatoes. They're potatoing each other. There's so many potatoes. Just in case the bag of potatoes and the spuds all, thrown around. I ain't talking about Rockstar or, being all over the place. That wasn't enough for you to realize, hey, there's potatoes there. Oh, it's right in the yam bag because I think some of them might have been yams. So, we cut to recaps during the match of shit that we just saw. What is Jake doing? I don't think even he knew. The Bucks, back to the ring. The Bucks didn't show up. As funny as that would have been. We get a kendo stick. We get Kenta almost getting sent through the announcer's table by Archer, and then he does a dive onto Moxley, who was on table that Omega set him up on to do a stomp. I get that they're trying to hype Kenta versus Mox. This didn't make me want to see Kenta versus Mox anymore. I don't want to see it any less. I will watch it on Strong, and hopefully it's going to be good. But good God, this was not good. And even Omega is better than this. And I'm not a big fan of Omega. Kenta's better than this. Archer's better than this. Moxley does a lot of hardcore shit, but he's better than this. Archer does a moonsault for 2. The Good Bros get in. Gun stun to Archer. Jake gets taken down. GTS to Mox. Magic Killer to Archer. V-Trigger. Assisted One Wing Angel because, let's be honest, Archer's big. Omega's strong, but he ain't that strong. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. That's all I got to fucking say about that. This is the one time that you're going to see me review AEW right after it happened. This is why I decided to watch this stuff on delay, because it kind of infuriates me. Because AEW could be doing so much better. I did not care for the main event. I didn't mind some of this show, but that main event was fucking hot garbage to me. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.